$1 million, but when you climax,
Oh god.
Oh.
I can't believe we're taking it to this level.
you barf in your mouth.
Yeah, I probably would.
I probably
All right,
would.
ladies, be warned. Brett may puke on you.
He's not getting this offer right now. This is a scenario.
No, this is based on things that will never happen, right?
All right,
Or-
let's do it right now.
What? Let's do it right now. When I was getting a physical to play football, I think
I've never been fondled.
the RN, which obviously they check you for a hernia. And before she did, she's like, "Everything okay with your balls?" And I was like, which I think she said because it was a 14-year-old kid, but
Well, see, here's the thing. I've always heard stories about that. Why is that so funny? It's the truth. They're checking for testicular cancer.
It's so funny.
no. She wasn't doing that. She was checking me for a hernia.
Well, they're checking you for both.
Well, probably.
'Cause they're looking for lumps, right?
No,
They're
because
like all.
you can't. When they check for a hernia, they just
Don't they grab it? Or?
no. Have
See,
you?
I've never
I
had it
told
done.
you. Garfield and Friends from Pickle
Aw.
Fanboys.
Now, which one?
The second one, not the
Yes.
first one.
This one.
Times a hill.
Yeah, I hate that one.
one.
There are two
It's
actual
two-
songs.
it's two of
Oh,
them.
The
well,
second
that's what
one,
he sent me a picture.
Ready,
Ready
Ready.
two,
to
party!
We're ready
to party.
We're ready.
Dun, dun,
I hope you bring lots of spaghetti.
dun, dun.
Come on down to Garfield and Friends. Come on in. It's time to party with Garfield,
Garfield
and Friends. And then I think there's another
I love
verse.
how we all know that one.
I think there's another verse.
There
in it.
is. There's a little bit more to it. I have a list of movie titles that were almost called something else. Star Wars Episode 6 was almost called Revenge of the Jedi. We know this, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're nerds. Alex might not have known that.
I was like, what are you talking about? It's not Revenge of the Jedi.
No,
it's
no, no.
Return. I was like, bitch, you ain't no nerd.
Head cheese.
Head cheese?
Mm-hmm.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Alex?
I have no idea.
Yep.
Yeah!
Why,
Nice.
Why head cheese?
Because I remember there's in the Texas Chainsaw, the remake in 01, they go into that rest stop
Mm-hmm.
and there's a pig's head
Yep.
in the display case, and head cheese is a boiled. You boil
How
a
did you
pig's
make
head.
that freaking connection, Brett?
That is a photographic memory. at
Oh
work.
my god.
What is the McGangbang?
McDonald's McGangbang. Simply order a McDouble and a McChicken. The McChicken sandwich is placed directly inside the juicy McDouble, buns and all. So if a normal McDouble doesn't quite fill you up, take the chance by combining a McChicken McDouble from McDonald's secret menu.
So then do you just order the two different pieces, or do you order
You say, I want the surf
McGangbang?
and turf, and they'll give you the two.
And they'll give you the two and you put it together. I'm not into the fish thing, but I think I would do the McGangbang.
Yeah.
That does not sound right at all. You know what, honey? Let's try a McGangbang.
Are you bringing that to the table, Alex? Are we
We
having
can
this
set it on the
discussion?
table and do it right here on the podcast. Try a McGangbang on the podcast.
Wow. Wow.
So Die Hard started a
I
trend.
hate Speed 2.
Why?
That's pretty
It's
bad.
horrible.
It's kind of like, it's more of a watch it because it's laughably bad.
Yes.
There are a few parts that I thought Sandra Bullock was pretty funny.
She's a great actress, but she sucks in that movie.
She cuts open the door with the chainsaw and she's like revving it. Can you guys get out?
If you back up with the saw,
What?
if you back up with the saw, we'll give it a try.
It's so bad.
It is very bad writing. It is
Oh,
very bad.
God.
But I always thought of it as more of an action type than a funny movie, and it turns out this, like, as an adult watching it, it's a terrible
It's
film.
horrible.
That was a great
That's great.
quote of Buddy
Yeah.
Job. I just got a Charlie horse in my thigh.
Oh shoot! You okay?
You were gonna fart or
Do
something.
you need something?
Hey, where's your Charlie
Just give me
horse?
time. It's on the bottom of this thigh.
Hey, you can do this. Put your foot out. Put your
I
foot
can't
out. Do it.
move.
Put your
Oh shoot!
Ah! Put it out. Now flex your foot. you're trying to take a shit,
What do you need to
Well, I
do?
don't want it to look like
What do you
that.
want to do?
I'm trying to put my foot over there. Help me. My back's to the camera.
No, you're fine.
Ridiculous.
You're fine. You're okay.
It's
You're okay.
ridiculous.
You're okay. You're
Let's do some
I'm doing some freaking Christmas trivia. Welcome back to PT Unlimited podcast. My name is Brett.
I'm Josh.
Alex.
This is episode 333 with a new intro.
New intro, new outro, new music.
Good
all that
job,
kind of
Josh.
good
How long
Yeah.
did it take you?
How long did that take you?
The weekend, and a little bit of the last week, like last 2 weeks, I'd say.
Did you know where to find all those clips, or did you have to go?
More of it was just going back through our catalog and trying to find funny ones. And I was like, first of all, the balls one, like that one is.
I forgot about
That's
that.
like episode 107.
Oh, it was a long
Wow,
time.
that was a long time ago.
That's like
Yeah,
200
because
and
wasn't it
some
at the
episodes.
circular table?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was when we moved to the upstairs. It was like right as
Yeah.
soon as we started doing video and stuff. So we were so young.
I know. That's like the one thing about the clips
Almost
is that
6 years
you
ago.
can see like,
Yeah. the
well, for one,
difference.
like our age, and then
how much we fluctuated in general.
weight.
Like I went from
I've gone
all different
I
levels.
had quite the range going there.
So did me.
I feel
like,
like I feel like all three of us
think-
kind of have like a fluctuation. Like you can see, oh, you guys are starting to age, so you're gonna do this.
Yeah,
Your
right.
bodies are trying to figure out what to do.
So yeah, that's our new song. As long as everything is good, we'll check. It's mainly in trial mode right now. So
I
just
like
keep
it.
Keep an eye out if it changes. But for right now, that's what it's gonna be.
Okay. You also said that we have a new outro.
Yeah, it's gonna be music and stuff, but you'll see at the end of the show.
Okay.
It's nothing. We're not seeing any extra clips or anything. It's just a better outro. It's not
I'm
just a.
just
It's better.
wondering.
It's
Okay.
better. That's all. So
Well, good job, because I really like that, especially the balls thing. That was.
Yeah.
I loved how you just kept like.
yeah, I don't know. I never still.
describing it with your hands.
I actually had that done last year. They
You-
had
You had your balls cupped last year.
They did the whole check on me. Remember, we had that whole like doctor visit where it's like they had the whole physical done.
Was I there for that?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay, I don't think I've ever seen you get fondled by the doctor.
You
so.
accidentally saw me get
a
like,
finger up your butt.
Yeah, you did.
I
You didn't even
know
know what was
I didn't
happening.
know what was going
you were
on.
just chowing on lunch while the doctor's
we
over there
hadn't eaten
flipping
all
on my
day.
side.
How appetizing.
No, seriously, we hadn't.
They had no
eaten all
idea that I was
day,
being
and we
invaded
didn't
at
know.
that
They
moment.
just we were up. We've talked about this before. I think that like the day after or what the podcast after
Acting
this
crazy.
happened, and it was one of Josh's like heart events. So he was in the hospital
I barely
for 3
remember
days.
that show. I'll tell you
So
that.
it was 2017, and me and Jer were up at the. They told us like they admitted him from one hospital to another, and they were putting him into an ambulance. They said, "Hey, meet him at this hospital. We're gonna put him in the cardiac unit. This is his room number. We'll meet you there." And Jer and I hadn't eaten all day, and it's like almost nighttime. And we're starving because we've been in and out of the hospital with Josh. So we got there, and they said that the kitchen was going to be closing soon. So we put in a meal right away to bring up to us. Well, as they're bringing our meal up, they're rolling Josh from the ambulance up into his room.
Didn't they cook it fresh? Or...
I don't know.
No.
So while they're doing that, Jared and I are literally like at the guest couch or whatever. And we're just chowing down on food, and Josh rolls in on his little gurney thing, and they have him unstrapped, and they say, "All right, lay down on your side." So they lay down the side. There's like 5 nurses like hooking him up to stuff, and I didn't know what was
I
going
was
on.
making a face to her
But
like,
Josh all of a sudden just his
Uh-huh.
eyes got big and he like looked at us and like, we're just sitting here eating. And then everybody leaves and he's like, guys, she just stuck her finger up my butt. Like she
I don't
just
know what they were
the only
checking
thing I
for.
remember is her going, I'm gonna check you for
Did she warn you?
yeah.
she said, I'm going to check you for
I was just not like.
cuts and wounds and stuff, and he said, okay. And she just
Well, that's kind of
Didn't know you had to
I
check
didn't
your
realize.
butthole for cuts.
Yeah.
she had to
okay.
check his body. So we're chowing down and he's getting a finger up the ass. So.
Speaking of hospital visits, we had to take another one. We had to take a trip on Friday, and I was in the ER Friday evening,
Yep.
from 8 until about almost 1 o'clock.
It was probably 1 o'clock in the morning by the
Jeez.
time we got home.
Yeah, they took their time getting me out the door after they found out there was nothing wrong with me.
Okay, there wasn't nothing.
After they found out there was
After they found out that you were
there-
lower on their triage list.
Right. After my EKG came back normal and my blood pressure regulated and my troponin level showed no heart bleeding.
No, it means
No
like
damage to the heart.
damage is what that means. Yeah.
Okay. Either way. We're good. For
Yes.
now. But I'm seeing the
we
physician
went
on
to,
Friday
We
again.
went to the ER because I got home from work and he was sleeping, and when he woke up,
I felt weird.
he just felt weird. Apparently, like he was telling me he was feeling off and kind of dizzy, and he looked a little pale and blotchy. So we're like, oh, let's take your blood pressure, because that's just usually what you want to do with him.
Yeah.
And it was like triple digits over triple digits, which is not good. And he was like, pretty much like if he would have gone up a few more points on each side, he would have been at like stroke level blood pressure.
Yeah,
So
it
we're
was
like,
kinda
we need
scary.
to get you to the
It
hospital.
went down and up a little bit, and then we got there, and it eventually leveled
When you got
out,
to the hospital,
so.
it was still triple digits over triple digits
True.
for like a while, and then they had you take
I think I
blood
was
pressure
just
medication.
exhausted from everything. I think that's what's happening.
I
to
don't
me.
think that's
Too
what
much
caused-
travel.
I don't know, but they didn't really exactly find anything. For once, the one time we're actually in the hospital and they ran all these tests that they always run on him. Seems like every 3 years we have to go to the ER.
Well, we were
Like-
just there last year for you.
Well, I mean for you.
Oh, for me. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe. Seems like it.
Yeah. So, but they gave him blood pressure medication, monitored him, and then
Hey, I told you this when we
Everything
were
went fine.
dating. Every 2 years, something happens to me. Now it's every 3. Remember
yeah,
It's an
that?
I
improvement.
guess.
Because I had like pneumonia. I had a tumor. I had the flu for like a full week and a half. I lost a lot of weight and out of school for so long. Like, man, sixth grade I was. In
Oh,
the
speaking
ER,
of, can we say
every
the
2 years.
can
What's
we
that?
say the story?
Oh my God!
Can you say it? Because
Yeah,
I
because
I
you
fucked
told
it up.
wrong.
Okay, you
So
say it.
Alex told this wrong on her stream.
Well, don't tell it wrong. Just tell it.
I'm gonna set the record straight.
Okay.
So when we were there sitting, like they had to go through a questionnaire of everything as far as like how you're, like my name, birth date, go through a whole rundown of like make sure that everything is like psychologically and physically okay other than what else is happening. So they asked me this one question that it just completely went over my head. They asked if I feel safe at home. Now, when you're asked that question, you automatically, I mean, I didn't
A normal
think,
person automatically answers it right.
I didn't think anything as far as like spouse.
I'm assuming that's what they meant.
That is
They,
what they
meant like abuse.
But what I
and
took it
They're
as,
screening for domestic
domestic
Yes.
violence. Yes.
what I took it as is the dangers of my environment in general.
So tell
Because
them.
I don't think of that because Alex and I, come on.
Hey, the people you least expected.
Right, I know, I get
But
it. But
yes,
the
that's
thing
not
is, it's
happening
like,
in our
it's not
house.
happening in our house. That didn't even cross my mind. Like the whole spousal thing. Like
So Josh,
as far as like physical. Yeah.
do you feel safe in your home?
I feel great.
Okay,
Except
now
but
answer it.
the way I answered
You
is
said no, huh?
I said I paused for a long period.
And it scared
longer
me.
than you should. So at that point, it already feels like blink twice if you're in danger.
Because I'm in the room.
I
What do you
said,
say?
well, that was my first word out my mouth. At that point, it's like, oh God,
Oh,
security.
what's he gonna say?
My next 3 words were, got a lot of stairs.
Stairs. Like
Stairs,
like my house
like
has a lot of
fall-
stairs.
Like fall
So you-
hazard,
you were answering it as in the house is dangerous.
tripping hazard, yes.
And she looks at me and I look at her
Oh,
and
that's funny.
he's like, other than that,
Other than that, it's all
it's all good.
groovy.
Like he was being legit serious. And then she left, and then later on,
It was like maybe a minute passed, maybe a little bit longer. It might have been a little bit longer than that. It might have been like 5 minutes.
yeah.
I was like, did I just say that to the nurse? And I was like, yes, you
Yes,
did.
you
Yes,
did.
yes, you did. She looked at me and I was like, oh my God. You
Like I
probably
just
think
gave
I'm
her
an
a
idiot.
nod, like we're all good.
You remember the episode of Rules of Engagement where Audrey is in the hospital. 'Cause
Yeah, and
Jeff
the whole,
slapped her.
yeah, and he's like talking about how she should have like not opened her dumb mouth or something, and they're overhearing
They
it.
start questioning him about
Oh
it.
my gosh!
That's
And
a
then
great
like the episode ends, of course, in like the worst manner. Like he goes and gets taken away or something.
They question him.
Yeah, but they
but-
don't.
Audrey was she was on.
She hit her
pain
face
meds.
or something.
They switched sides on the beds because he hits snooze.
Yeah,
And when he
we watched.
heard it,
Remember this
he
episode?
slapped her in the face, and she had to wear an eye patch.
I should have listened to you.
And the nurse is like,
It's like-
"No, it's never your fault."
It's never your fault.
It's like, yeah, that's kind of the conversation Alex and I would have in the ER.
I seriously, you said there was a pause, a long enough pause, and instead of just saying, yes, everything's fine, it was, well, and I seriously leaned forward like, what in the fuck are you going to tell the nurse?
Which is even funnier because that Audrey and Jeff's situation happened to me and Alex, but not with an alarm clock. It happened to me with a dead arm.
A
and
dead
I just-
arm. He just rolled
whap.
over and slapped me in the face. And apparently all I did was smile and go back to sleep.
She didn't wake up to it. She was a heavy sleeper at the time. Heavier sleeper
Heavier
than now.
sleeper.
So yeah,
Oh my
I'm feeling
God.
great now.
So
I'm-
one of our friends, I think Quentin's wife is a nurse.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay.
So he commented in my stream the other night when I was telling that story, and Josh goes, I wonder if that's in my record. And she said anything that is said goes in the record. So
My primary care physician is gonna read that.
she's probably gonna be like, so do you not like your stairs?
Hold on. In my defense, it is a fall hazard.
It
going down those
is. It
stairs.
is a very
Patrick also said in my defense.
Well, why don't you just put the banister back up?
because we got to paint the walls first.
Yeah, we were waiting on.
How long is that going to take?
We were waiting on our number one fan to come do the tall part of the
Yeah,
hallway.
number one fan. We need you with your stilts that are here,
Oh,
and then
I
we need
see.
you to paint the hallway.
That was almost 2.5 years ago.
Well, we need to plaster the wall. Actually,
I
or
said
caulk
first
the
of
wall.
all, I wanted to have that done before we put it on, and I didn't realize it was going to be out of sight, out of mind for that long. And now at this point, it's like we're going to be out of here by the time we put the damn railing up.
I know. Yeah.
But either way, I'm feeling great today, and
You see the doctor Friday.
there's a silver lining today. Alex came home last night at 8:30 saying something's dragging under the car.
Oh
oh,
boy.
We had an oil change done on Friday as well.
I forgot
Or
about that
was it
already.
Thursday? And I looked under. The undercover was half of it was unscrewed. They didn't fully
They didn't
tighten
like
down
screw
the
it
bolts or
all the
something.
way, all the bolts all the way. So I'm
So-
like dragging the bottom of my car.
I told my boss at 9:00 at night. I said I can't come into work in the morning because I have to take this road hazard to the shop. I can't.
Yeah.
There's no way. So.
I'm glad that I found it because I first heard it on like I think Saturday or Sunday. Like, but it wasn't. It was like it kind of just sounded like I had some gravel or something.
Okay.
Like it was not very prominent. And on yesterday,
yeah.
yesterday, you know,
last
because it
night.
was pouring rain all day.
Yeah.
So I couldn't hear it, and by the time I ended up leaving work, it had stopped raining, and all of a sudden I was like, "Wait a second, what is that?" And I turned off the music. Still did. It got a little bit louder, and then I turned off like the air and everything, and I rolled down the window, and you just hear. I'm like, something's going on, but I'm not slowing down or bumpy, so I'm like, what the hell? Am I dragging a
Didn't cause any
stick or
drag
something?
To your drive,
So did
but-
you take it in?
Yeah, I called them up and said, hey, because they have to actually the newer cars have like almost like a cover underneath,
Solid undercover.
like a solid underbody, so and just protect the car, you know. And I was like, I'm pretty sure you guys didn't screw that in all the way, so they just had me come over, and I was in and out within like 15 minutes. They're like, oh yeah, they put it up, like, oh okay, zit, 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 and then everything's good.
Oh,
Here's your keys.
There's a comment on YouTube. All you gotta do is ask from Jeff. No, we know.
Yeah,
we're just
I know.
we're just
We're being
making
lazy.
fun. We're being the lazy ones on our
Yeah.
side. We're not
There's a
the
lot of
ones-
spring things that'll happen here soon.
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, I have a lot of
She's got a
things that I
list
want to
of
do.
work.
One big thing is that guest room.
Yeah, that's getting cleaned out. Your sister's got to do some hauling.
Yeah.
Her.
It's getting
She's
cleaned out,
tearing
and
that down.
I want to make it into my cosplay room so that we actually have a legit space to go to.
How's your week? Sorry, I didn't interrupt you, but but I know that's where
It
it's
doesn't-
going. The sentence is over. There's not much
Is everything okay at home?
I get flipped off on stream. I don't know.
It's good. I had a little setback with my knee.
You don't have the cane today.
I don't. It's about 50%. I'd say it's gets a little bit better every day, but
So
I had
where
a
are
very
you-
rigorous Thursday and Friday at work, and it kind of pushed it back to where it was swelled up a little bit, and
Yeah.
so it's
Are you doing therapy?
no, and I haven't been to the chiropractor because I got about to 98%. It was funny because on Thursday my boss was asking me about it, like, "Hey, it's doing real good," and then I had a really busy day Thursday and a really busy day
Yeah.
Friday, and by the end of Saturday it wasn't not nearly as bad as it was when it was at its worst, but it definitely was worse than where it was at its best.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. That's no good.
Sounds like it's gonna take a long time to heal.
Could.
Hmm.
And that's why I want to go to the chiropractor, but I didn't go because it was getting better.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Maybe you should.
Should just done it anyway.
Go
You know?
anyway.
I should, but I just hate spending because the insurance won't cover the chiropractor. So I
Yeah,
just hate
but
going to
you know,
spend.
you're seeing our chiropractor,
Yeah.
right? I mean, he's not too costly.
No,
out
he's
of
not.
pocket.
It's just a
Oh, you're
expense
not.
that
It
I
is,
don't
for
want to do.
physical therapy. Is that not the same thing? Physical therapy might be a different cost.
I don't know.
We're just
I know,
shooting
like
for
every
adjustments.
service he does, it's like an extra $5-10. Like he's I don't know.
But
he's
therapy, you're there for a longer period of
That's
time.
true. Yeah. that's
You're
true.
there for 30
I've never
minutes
had
to an
physical
hour.
therapy. He's just
How long was I in therapy when I would
When you
I
first
beat
hurt your
my
back?
sessions? How long were my sessions? They were
I
a
was there for a
long
while.
time, like 45 minutes to an hour,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
mhm.
Because they had to do also.
But you also
electrotherapy.
couldn't. You also could not sit
I
or stand, or
couldn't
you could.
move, man, for a good week and a half, 2 weeks.
That
while
was
my
seriously
therapy was
like, all right, your
happening.
heart issue was like one thing about scaring
My
me,
back,
but
my God,
when I had my life kind of flash through my eyes when you
by my problems.
no when you first hurt your back really bad and
Yeah.
like you couldn't stand, and then like that first day or night when I took you home from
That
the
was
doctor,
not a good time.
and I actually had to like help you onto the toilet and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, am I gonna really already have to do this? Like, I'm not supposed
In
to do
your
this until I'm in my
20s?
70s.
Yeah, you were in your early 20s. Think
I
about
know we were
that.
in our early 20s. I'm like, I thought like, because I was really young and I didn't know like the end game of this. I'm like, wow, I'm gonna already have to do the in sickness and health kind of deal.
Thanks. That's good. You're
Not
thinking
in a
that
bad
way.
way. I'm
I
just saying
know.
like it was kind of, oh my God, all right, this is my job.
This is at this point, yeah. You become a you kind of like settled into that a lot quicker than
Most relationships, huh?
yeah.
Mhm.
Caring, nurturing. Yeah. I don't know if there's anything else to say about our week. We can talk about playing and watching if you want to. We got some stuff to move into here. You playing anything new?
Yeah, I started God of War Ragnarok. That's really fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I've
Patrick,
had
think,
nothing
said he
but
finished
good
it.
reviews that I've seen everywhere.
Yeah.
Mhm. I'm not real good at the combat, but
It's in the middle of it.
it's just different, and I gotta get used to it. I got
Yeah.
decent on the first one, so it's combinations of buttons, and so I gotta. There's you can fight bare-fisted, you got an axe, and you got the blades of chaos. So there's all two different sets of combinations with the axe and the blades of chaos that you gotta work and get good at. So there's that, and then I started playing NHL 22, having a lot of fun with that.
Getting into hockey now.
Yeah, and I was talking to Patrick about it, and I sent him a bunch of videos of goals that I scored because him and Rick are the only two people I know that also like hockey.
I'll play the video game, but I won't watch it too
Right.
much.
I will.
I played Wayne Gretzky's
If I go to a game,
Super
I'll
Nintendo. I
enjoy
loved
it. But
So-
other than that, I'm not turning.
Is
it
it
on
still
and playing
top down kind of style, or is it? How is
It is. It's like the rink is top to bottom, so it's not left to right, but you're always offensively going up and defensively you're on the bottom.
okay?
So like in hockey, they switch ends after each period.
Yeah,
So your point of view does not change, but
Mhm.
the bench does.
yeah.
So they are going opposite, but the player's perspective is always the
Right.
same.
I played the Gretzky game back in like '97 or '8 or something on the Super Nintendo, and I loved playing those games. I love the arcade style of that, but I don't know if it's still that kind of way.
There's I think in
I mean, hockey is kind of
they
arcadey in
they
general.
they re-brought out NHL 94 old retro style. It's on Game Pass.
Interesting.
With updated rosters, but just that old school style. And I tried it out, and it's just, you don't play that way anymore. So.
Too weird.
Yeah.
Kind of like GoldenEye and Alex's frustrations. I haven't gone back to that, actually. I actually uninstalled Star Wars because I've been installing Destiny and Halo Infinite because those are like your 2 games this weekend. I know that. You're doing some Destiny.
I'm
doing some
actually
Halo.
super excited for
You
their
haven't-
That's
update.
the
You
big one.
uninstalled Lego Star Wars?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I also uninstalled.
I played some of that too.
Did you?
Yeah.
Are
Made
you
it.
Are you
through-
done with the original trilogy?
I'm done with the original. I'm on episode 1 right now.
Frick, you're way ahead of me now. I'm not even past episode 2. So I'm in 2 episodes and haven't even gotten to episode 3, which is the one I wanted to get to. I wanted to check that one out, and then
So, but you started at episode 1.
yeah, I finished that
Okay.
one already. Yeah, that one was fun. That one was fine. I don't know. There's nothing against it, but I just wonder what the other ones are gonna
I
bring.
did like the fight with Darth Maul.
Yeah,
That was good.
it's a lot of time based,
It was.
but it
Is
was
there
good.
ever anything bad about a fight with Darth Maul?
If you lose, that would be bad.
Well, one of them does.
right?
Besides that,
Regardless, it's kind of weird. Alex has been playing Fall Guys on her stream, and so have I lately a lot. It's just
I
been
want
my
to say I'm
go-to.
getting better at it.
Yeah, but Lily Leapers is like your.
I hate it. I hate it.
I
It's the
know.
only one that's made me actually like rage.
It has. It really did.
Because I don't get how I can go at the very end where there's like 4, 1, 2, 3, 5,
She's just bouncing.
and you just bounce, and I'm supposed to hit this last pad and then just be able to hop, and I don't go high enough for some freaking reason, and it pisses me off. And then you guys get mad at me probably because we're losing points.
Well, we.
I know we still qualify, but still.
Sometimes we don't. It's happened where we don't.
Fine,
So.
whatever. Be mad at me. I
I'm
suck.
not mad at you. you're the one who's mad. I'm gonna save that for a minute here.
I watched something.
Oh yeah, what are you watching?
Well, today I watched the ESPN 30 for 30 about the OG XFL.
Okay.
Just got one. I mean, I knew it came about and then it failed, and now I saw why.
Yeah.
So what I didn't know is that week 2, the primetime game, the A1 game, was in LA, and the game had a power failure because somebody did not fill the generators with fuel. And so when that happened, they had to switch to the Orlando game. And this was right after they took the play-by-play guy that they wanted. They didn't like his first game, so they put him to the B game, brought in Jim Ross to do play-by-play for the A1 game.
Okay.
But after the mess that caused, and what that did is that pushed the game late, and that night Saturday Night Live was running with Jennifer Lopez.
Oh,
So that was a
my.
big, like, Lorne Michaels, like, yeah, good, I'll have the XFL crowd draw right into Saturday Night Live. The problem was Lorne was losing his mind because the game was taking too long. They didn't end up going on until after midnight. And I didn't know that Dick
What
Ebersol
the heck?
was partnered with Vince McMahon with this. Well, Dick Ebersol is like he was the top guy at NBC.
Yeah.
So he and Lorne had a real good relationship,
Oh,
and
no.
Lorne was fuming when this
Yeah.
happened. So that kind of started the downfall. When the TV ratings started to slip, that's when Vince is like, okay, let's just make this an entertainment thing. And then it became
that was
kind
bad.
of scripty and stupid and not about football. And the football product wasn't good anyway.
Yeah.
So it was just led to its
Are you?
downfall.
Did you check out any?
No,
of the
I
new
didn't
stuff?
even see anything about any of the games this in week 2.
Battlehawks are undefeated, 2-0, and
Did you
they're
watch
still on
it?
the road. The highlights, I wasn't able to watch it.
Where was it? Was it on,
ESPN
just
2
on
and
ESPN?
FX.
Okay.
FX and ESPN. They're on either of those. You have to check your listings. But the Battlehawks won on the road against the Seattle Sea Dragons. Again in the final 2 minutes, they came back. Another touchdown, kind of crazy. They were down by 1.
So they're
point.
already like Minnesota.
Yeah, they're doing their defense is kind of
Why'd you pick this team?
Why did we? Because Brian and I were talking about it, and we're just like, well, if I want one, I want a local closer. And he said he likes the Battlehawks, and I was like, well, I like the quarterback. He's doing really well. He comes back in the fourth quarter twice now he's done it. Just a good show.
Patrick
And
doesn't like the Battlehawks.
he's the Renegades.
Yeah.
Yes. And they face off for the first time in St. Louis, their first home game in 2 weeks.
They haven't had their home opener.
They haven't had their home opener yet.
Oh.
So the home opener is against the Renegades, and that's Patrick's team.
Oh, nice.
I'm just like, Alex, we should go to that. It's in 2 weeks. Just go to St. Louis.
I mean, I got the vacation
You
personal
should
time.
check the ticket prices.
Oh,
'Cause
they're
the
cheap.
OG,
I'm sure.
The OG XFL ticket price is $25.
Oh, I think they're more than that. I think they're
I'm
50.
sure.
Yeah.
that.
But
Anything 2 digits.
I've been
is
told that for their
worth it.
home game, they're opening up more than they
Mhm.
expected already.
I
So
believe it.
that's pretty interesting. I'm really
I
Mm.
watched.
because St. Louis is hungry for a team.
I watched one other thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Tulsa King.
I've heard of this.
It's on Paramount Plus. It's Stallone, which is why you won't watch it.
No way.
But I really enjoyed it. But it's my kind of thing because it's about mafia. And
Okay.
Gangsters.
Oh.
But basically, he's a mafia guy that goes to prison for 25 years, gets out, and the family in New York banishes him to Tulsa because it's wide open for earning, basically. And he
Mhm.
kind of starts up a crew and gets into a fight with a motorcycle gang and kind of goes from there. It's very interesting, though. I like Stallone, though, so
Yeah.
I have
that's
a
why I would
question
watch
He's
for
hit
you.
and miss for me.
Okay.
Since you're super into all these years, you're super into mobster, gangster movies.
Sure.
How come you've never been one for Halloween?
I don't know.
I feel like that's something you'd be able to pull
I
off very
considered
easily.
being Tommy Vercetti, who's basically a gangster, but he's a video game character. But I don't know. I guess because I didn't want to wear a suit,
Why not?
I didn't want to.
Be a reason to get one.
Could be.
It
Sure.
would be.
Or I mean, do they all wear suits?
Well,
I mean, when I
sometimes.
think of a mobster, like that's what I think
Or
of as somebody dressed up like.
Dress pants and a silk shirt.
You could probably-
Yeah.
Hair
if you don't
slicked
want to
back.
buy a
Oh,
legit
you
one,
could do
could
that.
probably
You could just do
find-
dress pants, a silk shirt, and have like a couple buttons open with the
Mhm.
chain. I mean, you've already got the chain necklace or the
Oh,
the,
yeah.
the necklace going on.
Make sure you have the.
Make sure you
sleeves
have like some kind of
rolled
really
and-
expensive
Gotta
watch
have a
on and
expensive watch
glasses.
and a bracelet, but
That would be an
Kinda
easy
like
thing.
Tom Cruise's character in Tropic Thunder,
Okay.
right?
I guess kind of, but like that's not the.
I don't
Not
think he was
exactly
wearing. He wasn't
what we're
wearing a
going-
nice enough shirt.
No.
No, but it was rolled up and buttoned up. Alex and I need to talk about The Last of Us. The last 2 episodes, because we didn't get to talk about episode 6 last week, and 7 just came out, and we were able to watch that last night. So we
Yeah.
are fully caught up,
Now we're caught up.
able to talk about this show without any spoilers. I gotta say, I don't.
There's nothing
know,
I don't like about
I
it.
don't know why this happens to me. Every single time we want to watch The Last of Us, I grumble. I'm like, I don't want to. I don't. What was that?
I don't know, but the lights just dimmed. What was that?
Oh, one of the light bulbs probably just
it
burnt
probably
out.
blue.
A light bulb just popped somewhere. I don't know where, but it did.
Okay.
Can you
Okay.
smell that?
Ooh, I smell it.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we should just make sure that there's not a fire that's about to start. That would be a first.
Woo!
Are we good? All right, how about you shut that light off? Just as the safety precaution.
Alex, if it ain't on fire yet, it isn't gonna be.
Well, let's not try to create a fire on the podcast.
That was
Okay, so
certainly-
we've had chairs break,
certainly be a
tables
first.
tables
That was
break,
the first time we had a light bulb burn out.
and now we just popped a light bulb.
that was a sound, man.
I know. I wonder if you'll be able to hear that on the show.
Woo!
Ooh, I smell that now.
It's a little bit of a burnt smell, but it's okay. I
Woo.
switched it to the other one. And yeah.
What were we talking about?
It's okay.
Last
Josh
of Us?
doesn't
Last
want
of
to
Us?
watch Lost.
Oh,
of Us.
For
The
some
Last of
reason,
Us.
I don't know why I don't want to watch it, but I wind up loving it. Every single episode has been an A+ for me, basically A to A+. This last one was more of an A because it was a little just. I was waiting for the big moments that never really came. It was kind of a more boring, but it felt explorative. I had to live in the youthful mind of somebody who's never seen our world. Basically, the character
Yes.
goes into a mall, Ellie does, and this is like a before she meets Joel, and you get a whole Damn, that really does.
That stinks, doesn't it?
Um,
Good thing we don't have the smoke detector turned on.
a
right
whole
now.
run, like it's a whole thing where she discovers a mall and arcade and gets to play Mortal Kombat and all that kind of cool stuff. So it ends how you think it should, but it's a great episode, and it's going to tie us into what our fan question is later on.
I know why, or at least I think I have an idea of why you grumble.
The Walking
long?
Dead?
No.
Why?
So I think we're just not, you're probably going through what I'm going through with a lot of things right now. Like, you're just fatigued from,
Apocalyptic.
no, not
stuff?
even that. Just
Because that's why I.
just episodic TV shows. Like, it's like you're craving one, but then you
There's
go to watch
certainly
one,
no-
you're
Oh,
like,
because I can't
shortage.
binge it. I don't want to do it because there's only one available for me.
is that
maybe.
really why? Mine's just like, I'm
Maybe.
starting a new thing, and do I really want to start a new thing?
Alex, you just described what I feel. Yet I get my balls busted all the time because I don't want to start something new.
Oh no, I want to start this,
Well,
but
I
but
was
it's
just trying to.
but I think
explain
it's just the burnout of Walking Dead.
Yeah,
I
but you
think
haven't watched that for years.
It doesn't matter. It's still in my head. Like every single time it comes up, anything Walking Dead on TikTok or any social media, I gotta get away from it.
Well, I get it because, like I said,
You
have,
and I
I'm in
both
no
burnt out about
hurry.
the same time.
I mean, no,
Like,
I have thought about starting at the beginning and watching until I get to the point where I'm like, okay, that's enough. Just
Yeah, do you think
because
you'll even
good-
get to where you left
10
off?
seasons,
Probably
right?
not.
I think we went another season after him, didn't we? And I was like kind of just dragging my feet along with that one too. I don't even remember. I don't remember any of it.
The last thing I remember is the bat.
That's of course going to be ingrained in everyone's mind because it killed half the fan base.
Yeah.
It's because two of the best characters got killed off the worst way.
I mean, I still get
it's still
goosebumps
it's a scene.
just because that scene is just so powerful and realistic.
one
that
made
it's-
sense. Two, no. One made
No,
sense.
it made sense.
I don't know.
Real world makes sense.
It turns my stomach a little bit, but that's the
I
point.
mean, that's the point.
That's the point.
It's a very powerful episode.
Yeah.
Man, I'm still stink. That's still smelling really bad.
Oh yeah, it's gotta air out.
Dad said it'll be great for the hits. I heard the pop.
Oh, he heard it.
Wow.
Okay.
So apparently we're gonna have to go through and. see if
Alex
we
and I
heard
went
it.
and saw Ant-Man and the Wasp 3.
Oh, man.
Quantumania,
I already forgot we watched it.
because you didn't like it.
I didn't.
I was very indifferent to it. It's more of one of those like Marvel doesn't have a clue what they're doing.
For that movie, at least.
For the entire phase of 4, this is the boost of 5. They still don't know what they're doing with
I mean,
Kang.
I very much agree with
They're
you.
making him look weak every
well,
single
okay,
time.
I agree with you with what they did with Kang.
Yeah. They're making him look weak.
They're making him look weak
Yeah.
or silly or what he's not supposed
All
to
talk,
be.
no tail. You know,
Yes.
he doesn't actually show what he can do.
No.
I don't think they need to be waiting. You need to be showing what he
They're
can
trying
do.
to build him up for probably like a Thanos
yeah,
deal,
Secret
but it's
Wars.
not working.
It doesn't.
At least it's not so far.
Well, I don't know if that's just the scrolls or not. But the next Avengers movie is Avengers: Secret Wars, and I don't know where that's. I don't know
I don't
much about that.
I'm
because
excited for
that's a little
Guardians of the
farther
Galaxy
in.
just because
That's the only thing. And once
really
that's
like
done,
them.
what's left? Guardians is done after 3. I mean, James Gunn is done with it, and Batista's done with his character, so we kind of have an idea what might happen to his character. You might have spoiled it by
I
saying
mean,
that,
I know what happens in a comic book sense, but it doesn't go along with what they're doing.
No,
So, because
no.
there's a bunch of different like variations,
Right.
but I'll tell you after the show.
So I'm gonna mini review 6. A lot of helmet removals, and Kang is not feeling like a
We
conquering
watched
villain.
who's the guy?
Pitch meeting.
We
Ryan
watched a pitch
George.
meeting on it afterwards.
He's amazing. He gives everything that goes through our head and puts it right on the screen.
He did a very good job, and I was like, oh, I didn't recognize that before.
There's like a helmet removal in every scene.
Like,
that's
every
supposed
scene,
to be
it's a-
dramatic.
And then like their helmet comes off, like
You know, like the Iron Man thing.
yeah,
It's
like
just like
every
that.
scene, and it's just a dramatic.
They look around. They gotta. It's like, come on, man. Come on.
There's so much about the movie that was repetitive, and they just they took repetitive scenes and stuck it together. And you did ask me at one point if I was falling asleep.
You did, didn't you?
I didn't fully fall asleep, but I
you were
about
on the
did.
verge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was bored.
Then are you going to go see any more Marvel movies in theater?
Yes,
Guardians, at least.
Anything after that?
We don't know what's after
That might make
really.
or break it.
Because Marvel's is later, and we're not really. A
Well,
big
I was
fan of
super
Captain
excited
Marvel.
about Thor: Love and Thunder,
Oh, that was so
and
bad.
that was bad.
How many chances are you going to give them?
Well, Thor was
one of my favorites.
I've
always enjoyed all the
hero.
Thor movies,
I
and
like
this
Thor.
one was just
Guardians is our
not good.
last breath of air. I think that's it for us.
Yeah, because it's like they're ending all of our characters.
Spider-Man has another movie coming out, maybe. But
Oh yeah, okay, never mind. Spider-Man's
That's-
always been
You
Oh,
can
God.
also
knock on something for me.
Do you
Good.
think this movie was overly geared towards children?
No,
I wouldn't say so. I'd say it was pretty violent.
It was violent. It was violent enough. I just don't think it was written well. It just wasn't written
It
well.
was not. It's like they took a bunch of ideas in the writing room and just said, "Sure, throw that scene."
Well,
in
the
there.
reason I asked is because I thought what I came to my head was you're not the
Not the target
core
audience. No,
of
it's
the
not even
target
No,
audience,
that.
right?
but
We're okay with everything
they-
they're doing with as far as any form of generational storytelling.
I feel like you're supposed to care about his daughter,
but I'm annoyed with her
but I'm more annoyed with it.
because she's not written well.
Yeah, like
I liked MODOK because I
didn't.
liked his story. I didn't mind.
That was a TV show, wasn't it?
It is, yeah,
Or a
but
series.
yeah, it's on Hulu. Patton Oswalt's the voice. I haven't
Mhm.
checked it out after I checked it out. I watched 2 episodes and I turned it off. I should recheck it out, see if I can enjoy it, but I don't know.
I didn't like him,
You
and
didn't like him.
I thought nope, I'll spoil it. Never mind, I can't say his name.
Are you talking about the big
The surprise
character?
guest.
That was stupid, right?
It was stupid.
very stupid.
It was stupid. I did not like the surprise guest.
Michelle Pfeiffer is not. She's not fun anymore on screen.
I-
Michael Douglas, I think.
I liked him.
I think he's
he
just
did well.
enjoying being in front of a green screen.
Yes. Like
Just
you
being
can
on
tell like
screen.
he just generally enjoyed being in the movie.
Yeah.
Like he just seems like he likes
I can't
being
stand
there.
Evangeline Lilly,
Which one's that?
the Wasp.
Oh. Yeah.
I can't stand
I
her.
don't like what they did with her.
She's not good looking anymore on screen either.
I don't think it's that. She is very
She doesn't have the
she's-
face
She's annoying.
that I want to see.
She's annoying.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't like what they did with her either. Like everything about that movie I could just tear apart.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give it a
The only character I did like
Paul Rudd's character.
was no.
Well, him.
The character with the holes or wanted the holes.
Oh, the gel guy.
the gel guy who
Yeah.
wanted some
you have
holes.
holes.
You have
How's that
holes?
feel?
You have 7 holes.
Yes, that's correct.
Yes, that's correct.
Count all the holes.
That was like really the only scene I enjoyed.
No, I'm gonna
I don't know his name or if he even had a name, but he was like the gel guy.
That's okay. I just want to make sure I got Evangeline Lilly right. It was right. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I give it like honestly more like a 5.
I'm with you on that 5.
I don't even know if it reaches a 6.
Do you want to talk about the movie club?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Yeah.
This-
Oh wait, we forgot about the other things we're playing and watching.
What else? I don't think we have anything else.
We got back into Pokemon Go a little bit.
That's not really
and-
much to say about that. Sorry.
I mean, there was a nice event this weekend that we magically fell into that we liked doing, so we played for a couple hours, so that was fun.
If that's a highlight of doing, I don't know. That's just a.
I always enjoy playing Pokemon Go. Like, it's something I can get sucked into easily for a long time.
I know, but is it?
There was also the Pokemon game or the
Well,
Nintendo announcement.
The whole Nintendo announcement was a bust for me. Nothing's exciting for that. Pokemon Sleep
Not that one.
expansions to 2 games we don't play.
There
What was that? Well, also there's only 5 trailers.
There was the concierge one.
the concierge one.
Yeah, it was like Pokemon Concierge or I don't remember
It
what the name
didn't-
of it
it
was, but it
didn't-
looked cute.
It didn't benefit my
Okay, well, it
interest.
looked cute. There was that was like the only thing, but yes, other than that, it was a bust. But all right, okay. Other than that, yeah, I guess we can move on. There wasn't really anything else.
So the movie club movie this week was my choice, and oh man, what a doozy. This one was it's called White Noise. It was made last year and it came out in December. This is what I read as the synopsis, okay? This is what I read, and then I'm gonna say what the synopsis is actually.
What it should be.
So no. There's 2 synopsises on IMDb. They switched it to this other one now,
Really?
and I'm gonna read the second one afterwards. You're like, well, that makes a lot more sense.
Okay.
All right, so here's what I read last week. Ohio, 1984. Without a doubt, Jack Gladney, a liberal arts professor with a strange area of expertise, and his 4th wife, Babette, share a profound unhealthy preoccupation with death. As a result, when the looming threat of an airborne toxic event forces everyone to evacuate their homes, the mystery of death now evolves into sheer existential dread. That's what I read last week.
Doesn't that sound exciting?
This is what it says now on IMDb. Dramatizes a contemporary American family's attempts to deal with the mundane conflicts of everyday life, grappling with the universal mysteries of love, death, and the possibility of happiness in an uncertain world.
So, I saw a reel yesterday,
Uh-huh.
and it was this guy who had Netflix open. He's like, "You can't even make this up. This movie came out with Netflix last year about a train that spilled toxic chemicals in Ohio." And I'm thinking, that's where it ended. I'm like, did you watch the movie, dude? Because it's got
I'm
nothing
starting
to
to
do
think about that with
there is a
all of the
scary thing about that,
TikToks
though.
that we have seen. Other than there is a lot of similarities between what happened in the movie, like around the train.
That was 15 minutes, Alex.
No, there's a little bit more.
There's a little bit more.
17 minutes.
Okay, so first of all, it takes place in small town Ohio, and that's where the train crash happens. The same exact thing happened practically where they were slowly evacuating people out, and they were claiming no danger or whatever. I don't know about the air raid sirens like that. But the third thing is 30 extras from this movie lived in that town that had the actual train crash.
Mm-hmm.
Explain that one.
Well, I mean, that's just ironic.
30 extras. There's not that many extras in this movie, really. I mean, the rest is, yeah.
Well, the camp scene was gonna have where they.
There's probably maybe 100 people.
Well, yeah. So.
The acid rain is also something,
That's what I
and
was
the
saying,
storm.
Yeah. So I'm saying, like, that is a lot of coincidence. And I don't like it.
But
that has nothing to do with this movie
okay,
for the
that's
most
what
part.
I was getting at. Is
I mean, here's the thing: we don't even know if
It's
he's
almost
even
like
infected.
that's a tiny thing that happened in the movie.
It happens, and we're just like, but it happens at a very, very pinnacle point. It seems like in the movie, there's a message that happens afterwards about how they get directed to go somewhere, and it talks about how Elvis was like bringing cattle to a farm, or like bringing cattle along, like basically hurting them. That's what was happening with this airborne toxic event. It was basically the same message. It's kind of like how people love to be herded to different places, being told what to do, just like is what was happening after this event. That was the only message I got. There were other messages within it about consumerism and all this other things where the kids were talking, and I was like picking up little things here and there about red versus blue, and I was just like,
I understand why it's
Oh,
called
yeah.
white noise. How about that?
there's a lot of stuff going on
There's
where you
just-
have to just block it out because
Yeah.
there's other things that are more important going on.
That's the message of the movie.
But the thing is, it's 2.5 hours of that message that I don't think you need. You need to be telling a better story here. This is based on a book, by the way. So, and they followed it pretty darn well, apparently.
I
So,
should have hated this movie, but I didn't for some reason. I mean, I didn't like it, but
So here's the thing, Brett. I hated it while we were watching it, but towards the end, like
some messages.
there was something
matter.
about it that I kind of got a Requiem for a Dream kind of feel.
no, because that's a good movie.
Well,
This is
I know,
not a
but
good
I mean,
movie.
like the way that it's kind of random, all over the place, and things don't make sense.
Sure.
I thought about like the artistic,
There's some illogical and different. There's artsy scenes,
like
and there's-
artsy
Some of
scenes
the
about it.
conversations like go somewhere where you're like, okay, I can.
It
see
kind of
that.
just makes you think deeper, like it's a deeper movie, deeper thought movie. That's what I liked about it. But other than that, because I went in expecting something else, that's why I didn't like it.
Mhm.
And then the more and more I thought about it, the more it kept playing in my head, like towards the end with him having like the gun and the scene with the guy and they're talking, and it all just kind of came together, and I'm like, okay, I don't hate it as much, but I still don't like go, oh my god, this is like a 10.
I thought you fell asleep to this movie, Brett.
Um,
Because you
I
laid
didn't
down.
fall asleep, but I was getting very sleepy in certain
it was
parts.
there were some long scenes, man. Like there's just
I was kind of just like waiting.
some of the
for
scenes were a
something to
little
happen.
intense. Yeah, it's got some illogical like speech where there's people that don't talk in the third person to another person. Where Alex is sitting here with pink hair, and I would say Alex doesn't wear pink hair on the podcast. Alex wears her natural hair. Her beauty shines through her brunette and blonde, lovely goddess hair. Like that's kind of how they talked in that.
Is
film.
that really what you think?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, okay. You
they
should talk like that all the time.
they talked like they're in a play.
It was very like as if they were on a stage.
A very stage performance esque is what
Mhm.
I got out of it, and I was getting annoyed with that. And then
Almost
there were
like
some scenes.
Shakespeare-y.
Yeah, some scenes where I'm like, okay, well now this movie is this, and now this movie is like this, and at the end I'm like, okay, I don't like how the couple fell apart that way. They need to be communicating like a proper couple, but you can obviously sense that they have not been very successful in their relationships. It's his fourth wife.
Fourth wife, man.
So,
He's
I
got,
mean,
and then
and
they
she
have
has-
all of the kids.
She has different kids too from
Yeah.
different people, like two different parents. I think I'm pretty certain that's what I got out of that. So they all have different. They have one kid together, and the rest are all from other spouses' previous engagements, and so they're obviously not successful. Whereas Alex and I are sitting there like, just talk to each other, man.
I know, right?
Seriously, that's all it
Well,
takes.
the fact that like
It's easier said than done.
the
And
one thing that I
yeah.
thought was really weird was that he was like, "Oh, she's taking a pill, whatever."
that's
That I don't know about. Like,
It's a little different.
I don't know. I just feel like that's just not right for our relationship. But I'm sure that's
There's different
right
people,
for
different
other
strokes, different folks.
relationship.
We understand.
Yes.
But the
You
thing
can't
is, it's like,
compare your relationship with their relationship.
I know but there were certain things about theirs that mirrored ours as well. So it was just kind of like, I don't know. It was just really weird to watch them as a couple.
Some of the ways that they would react to certain situations were how we would too. But
yeah.
I don't think we would be that dense to an airborne toxic event like that. I think we'd get our asses out the house a little
In
bit sooner.
1984, you might have been because that's
Because there's no internet, there's no like, you
But
know.
weren't they scared of like the whole Cold War back then? Wasn't that a big? I don't know when that ended in.
But
the
it also
80s,
made
right?
you think about what it was like back before.
Yeah.
Like he's like, but what is the news saying?
Mhm.
Like, do you remember? Like, okay, well now they're saying this. Yeah, but what's the news saying?
back when you could trust.
You trusted the
media.
news. So if the news says, "Hey, get to somewhere," you
How much
trusted
of the news
the
do
news.
you trust these days?
None.
Not a lot.
None? Where do you get your news from?
I don't consume the news.
Where do you get any information?
If I
about
read
the
anything,
environment of you?
if I read anything, I'm always like, that's probably not the whole story.
Yes,
That's a good way to
that's
put it.
actually
I
that's
like-
usually
like
what I
that
see. It was
you're
like
thinking that way. A lot of
because
people don't.
I'll react to like you're gonna see something, react to it, but if you actually open the article and read through it, then you're like, okay, this is the complete.
You might even
opposite
find
what
out
it
it's a
is.
parody.
Yeah. Like
Right.
for instance, there was
Oh,
there
it's
was a
getting
meme
worse
that
these
came out
days.
about the news, and there was two pictures on top of each other, like meme wise, and it was a dog grabbing a sheep by the neck, and it looked like it was trying to kill it. And if they're like, what the news is showing you, what's actually happening is at
Oh, I
the
showed
bottom.
you that
Yeah,
image.
And at the bottom image, it's the dog trying to pull the sheep out of a hole.
Right.
Like
He's trying to save
saving
It's a
it.
sheepdog.
Yeah.
He's-
So it's like,
he's
so the first
shepherding
picture
it.
looks like it's trying to kill it when it's actually trying to save it. So
Yeah.
I'm like, this is what is going to attract you because it's like scary and wow, and it's gonna
But
grasp
if you
you.
take a look at the bigger picture, it's a little different.
It's a lot different.
Lot
It's the
different.
opposite.
But the thing
The-
is,
so
we can't trust that with a lot of things these days.
Yeah.
And nothing's
it's
gonna.
more like if I see it.
Have you seen any of the AI stuff that's going on these days, where they are able to
No, but
fake
cousin
stuff?
Andrew was telling me.
It's crazy.
Speaking of that,
We're
we have
about
a really
that.
big thing to talk about with the AI. So one of the
Is that something
bands,
we can?
one of the bands that we follow closely, Avenged Sevenfold, got hacked this week, actually only a couple days ago, and they are announced to be on this really big tour and going to these big events. And their Facebook account, which is very like where they actually, I follow them, so they post all the time.
But their stuff got canceled.
It said, "Hey, we are not going to these big events anymore that we've built up, and no explanation, no nothing, but it was from their site. And there was also, Josh pulled up on what, Spotify,
there was a track that they uploaded, quote unquote. It sounded like Matt, the singer from Avenged Sevenfold, saying as to why they were canceling.
like, sorry,
They're
we need to
working
work
on more
on
album stuff.
we're working on our music, and that's more important. And it sounded like him. That was
It
not,
was a
it was
2.5 minute
AI.
track, and I listened to it.
It was AI, so people started trying to cancel their tickets, and really the only credible source was M Shadow's Twitter. He was not hacked, and he said, "Oh my God, this is not real. Go to our Discord for any type of real news. We're hacked."
Yeah.
But it took days for them to get it back and say, "Hey," and
they got it
somebody
back
with
today.
Huh?
They got it back.
Yes,
today.
they got it back today.
That took 4 days for a band that's followed by millions. That's a problem.
Yeah,
And
but yeah,
I
to
think
even
that's
have
the
the
first
voice.
band I've heard getting hacked like that.
Yeah, but like his voice was mimicked.
Yeah.
Like saying, "Yes, this is
I
real."
follow TikToks where they're able to where an AI is able to mimic a president playing Fortnite. Like
Yeah.
Trump playing with Biden and Obama.
Mhm.
It's actually comedic,
It's
but
very comedic.
it's a problem at the same time.
It is because it
Because
sounds
now there's
exactly
gonna
like
be
them.
Nothing's going to be credible anymore. We're
No.
in trouble. We're in a lot of
we're
trouble.
we're in a lot of trouble.
We're going to, the world is. Anyways, back to this movie. Most of the scenes don't drive the plot much at all in my personal review of this. There's little driven, they have conversations in the lunchroom that don't mean anything.
That is, I feel like
White
that's part
noise.
of the movie. It's white noise.
More white noise?
It's
Yeah. How bad did you want to turn the movie off, though? I mean, seriously.
I didn't.
You didn't?
There was something about the movie. Like I said, there was something about that made me want to continue it.
Once
Surprising.
the pill mystery is what kept me in it, and when you find out it was stupid,
It
then
was
I'm
a placebo
okay,
pill.
I'm done with this, And there was still a good 20 minutes after you find out what's really going on.
Yeah.
That you have to get through.
Yeah, there's a lot. It's a
But
long
after you
ending.
find out what the pill is, what kept you involved, or like what kept me involved, was the fact that he wanted to kill the guy.
Yeah, I didn't care.
Oh,
So
I
Adam Driver and Don Cheadle are in this movie along with.
I cannot
Greta
believe Don
Gerwig.
Cheadle got top billing when he's in it for about 10 minutes.
He's got some scenes that are a little
Some very
longer.
short scenes.
He's in all the lunchroom scenes.
This was Adam Driver's movie,
He's in. Oh,
It
well, yeah,
was.
he's got top billing.
I
Adam
know.
Driver has top billing.
and he should.
Yeah.
That's why
I will say,
Cheadle
like,
should
for
not.
as like not, I don't want to call this movie not good.
I do.
I don't know
it's
what.
not good.
It sends
It's-
a message.
And isn't
in
critically
a
and
long-
Rotten Tomatoes it's bad.
Well, let's go over that. Critics give it a 63. Fans give it a 31. Which, hold on, before you say anything, last week our movie was what? Three Musketeers.
Yeah.
Critics gave that a 30. Fans gave it a 62.
Really?
So it's basically flipped.
Flipped.
How crazy is that?
Huh. That is. I don't know why. Why would they rate that so bad?
I don't know.
It's not a bad movie.
Got some facts about this film. This is the director's first time writing and directing a book-to-screen adaptation, and only his second adaptation after co-writing the screenplay for The Fantastic Mr. Fox, which Alex and I have seen.
That is a
Have you seen that
acid
movie?
trip, is what
It
that
is
is.
So
I mean, it's good, but it's bad, and it's. I can tell that this is the same dude.
all right. So here's the facts about the film and the train crash.
Okay.
So White Noise was filmed in Wellington, Ohio, and released on December 30th, 2022. Just over a month later, on February 3rd, 2023, there was a major train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio, only 117 miles from where White Noise was filmed. I didn't know that.
I didn't know it was that
filmed
close.
in Ohio.
Yeah.
The derailed train was carrying thousands of gallons of vinyl chloride, a toxic chemical used in the production of PVC, which required the entire town's population of 5,000 to be evacuated while the chemical was cleaned up. Vinyl chloride exposure can cause dizziness, lethargy, and headaches, and causes an increased risk of heart and lung disease and cancer. 2 weeks after the crash, residents were allowed to return to their home after levels of vinyl chloride returned to safe levels, in quotes. However, a number of them began reporting symptoms like rashes, coughing, and difficulty breathing. The CDC and NIH are setting up a clinic in the town to investigate the reported symptoms. Theories about the causes with no chemicals being detected range from psychosomatic due to fear and hysteria, mass panic, to the fact that vinyl chloride can break down into hydrogen chloride and phosgene, both of which are used as chemical weapons and can cause the type of symptoms being reported. But as of February 20th, tests for these chemicals have also come up negative.
But is that what's being reported?
Exactly.
That is the only thing, that just makes it turns into a conspiracy.
So there
but
was a train derailment a couple, I want to say 10 years ago almost, that I heard this on TikTok in Texas.
Real quick before that, because I've got this thing. Remember when COVID was like a conspiracy?
Yeah.
And you would get COVID back in, like, when COVID was COVID, like the very first part.
Back in 2020.
Yeah, in 2020 you would get it, and people would be like, it's fake. Until so when I was experiencing certain symptoms, do you know how many strangers, when I was in the hospital, would come in without a mask, and we tell them don't, and they say this is bullshit, COVID's not real, and I have all these symptoms.
Where we're touching that on YouTube, actually. I know our podcast audio is fine, but on YouTube they can flag us.
I'm going off of a personal experience.
I gotcha. But
personal
one thing that they have actually said is, this is coming out, natural immunity is a thing.
Of course
COVID.
it is. It's a virus.
Yeah.
And viruses, if you've been exposed enough, that's what your body does.
You know how many people
it
didn't believe
develops
that?
antibodies.
You know how many people don't believe that?
That's the way
The
your body
majority
works.
of the population.
That's the way the body works.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
All right,
I
but
know that
anyways,
you know.
so but
And you know
that's
that
what
I
I'm
know.
saying. What about these people that are actually symptomatic for real, and then they're just like, no, everything's negative. It's in your head.
Yeah.
I feel bad for them.
I feel very bad for a lot of people who haven't had, well,
because right now, just like we said, who knows what's real news and what's fake.
True.
Anyways, moving on.
The film is very faithful to the novel, aside from the climactic sequences at the Roadway Motel and the church hospital. In the novel, Babette never appears at the motel. She is not shot and does not go with Jack to the hospital. So,
that would kind of change.
In
the
my
whole
personal
ending.
opinion, this movie has a lot of depressing moments. It's a little misguided. Sometimes has zero direction, but man, there is some times where there's some words here and there that
I just feel like it's a very deep movie.
it's a deep movie, but not for everybody. I'm giving this one a 4.
2.
Really? You guys are gonna give it?
As in, I can't rewatch it.
No, I will never watch this movie again.
But there are some messages in this film that can be told elsewhere in a better form, like the way couples fall apart, the way families are, the way a train crash.
To be honest, I like this movie more than Ant-Man.
Really?
What did I give Ant-Man, a 5? I'll
Yeah.
give this a 5.5.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is more memorable to me than Ant-Man.
Okay.
So there, that's the only reason for my rating.
How's the game going, Brett?
Not good.
Oh, not good.
I gotta see.
You know, the Red Wings, they have not been doing good for a while, actually.
No, they haven't.
Unfortunately, I don't like to say that, but ever since the mid 2000s, they've been a little
No,
weird.
it's past that.
Okay.
They didn't miss their playoffs.
When they get the Stanley?
They made the playoffs for 25 years in a row.
When did they get theStanley, though?
Their last one was 2008.
I knew it.
That's
That was when
when
you
lived
were
there.
you were leaving here and we had Parker
Mhm.
above us and he was flipping out. Remember?
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. It's been a while since
Well, you make the playoffs and it's
Chicago got
considered
it.
Chicago won 3 in 5 years.
Yeah, we were there.
Now
for
they're
a
one of
couple
the
their
worst
wins.
teams in the league. One of the worst.
I mean, I don't mean any offense towards the Red Wings, as far as I just don't hear about them as much anymore.
Yeah, I mean
Not anymore, no.
They've gone
they used
multiple
to be
years
big, is what I
without
mean.
making the playoffs.
Yeah.
They're the only sports team, I believe, now that they had the longest streak of making the playoffs every year. They
Okay.
went 25 years in a row, but they haven't gone in probably close to 10 now, I think.
Okay.
I
Maybe
just
not
feel
quite
like
that
I
long.
saw a lot more jerseys back in the day,
Uh-huh.
and I don't now.
Yeah.
Red Wings jerseys?
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah,
kind of have
it's,
to wear it on your sleeve in a sense nowadays.
They got a lot of players that, people in Detroit probably know, but they used to be this kind of offensive powerhouse that get all the big stars,
Mhm.
and they just don't anymore. So
Yeah.
I felt like they were the Cowboys of the.
They kind of were.
they were like the Yankees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Cowboys were big in the 90s,
Well,
so were the
yeah.
49ers. And
It's not quite as easy in the NFL because of the salary cap, but like in baseball and in hockey, the Yankees and the Red Wings,
They have no
They
caps?
bought. I don't know if they don't have no caps, but they have a lot of money, and they buy their talent. Like the Yankees, especially, whenever there's somebody really good, they just give them a boatload of money and they go to New York. So the Red Wings
okay.
were like that because they had a big market too and huge fan following.
Like that we said, no cap.
Money?
Money. We've been watching South Park lately, and
We just gave him a bunch of money and sent him home.
oh god, that's such
Money?
I love South Park. It's a
Oh, I
classic.
love
It's their new episode comes out on Wednesday.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, we've been keeping up with them too.
Yeah,
but they
I
haven't
love
been
it.
out for a couple weeks. Brett, what's the movie?
We're gonna go with, because I believe it was last week you guys said you hadn't seen this, which is From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah,
I've not seen it. What's it about?
it's a vampire movie.
Yeah. It's
a vampire movie?
It's a comedy.
Yeah,
A comedy?
it's got George Clooney
It's
in
a
it.
horror comedy. Yeah,
Let me go to it.
George Clooney and
So I've heard of
Tarantino.
it.
I think Robert Rodriguez directed it.
Yes, you did.
I've never seen it. I'm
Harvey
very sure my
Keitel.
mom would
Harvey
be pissed.
Keitel, yep. Juliette
She
Lewis.
has it.
Oh, she does?
Yeah, I know
Juliette
she does.
Lewis.
Yeah. Hold on.
Hold on.
Danny Trejo's in it.
Hold
Quentin
on.
Tarantino's in it.
Yeah.
Selma Hayek, Cheech
Yep.
Marin.
A lot of times.
Yeah, he has multiple characters. We were talking about that when we were talking about the multiple characters.
That's when we.
yeah.
That's when you guys.
This
said you
one's
hadn't
been
seen
on
it.
my list for a very long time. I just haven't had a reason to watch it.
From
It's
dusk
written
till dawn.
and directed by Robert Rodriguez, and Quentin Tarantino also wrote the screenplay.
My guess is there's going to be werewolves in it because it's from Dusk Till
No
Dawn.
werewolves.
Aw.
Only
Two
vampires.
criminals and their hostages unknowingly seek temporary refuge in a truck stop populated by vampires with chaotic results.
Okay.
Tom Savini is in it as well.
I don't know who that is.
Tom Savini had a lot to do with Friday the 13th.
Okay.
The first movie. And he's kind of like the poor man's Stan Winston, where he did a lot of makeup effects for horror movies,
Oh,
especially
yeah.
in the 70s.
Huh.
So,
I want to touch on some nerd news before we go to the fan question, because there'll be a little bit, because I know a fan question might have a little more conversation. But first nerd news item, Call of Duty actually is being rumored that their next release for this year might not be an expansion. It might actually be a full release, led by
Whatever.
Sledgehammer.
Whatever.
And it's actually pretty big. It will continue in the Modern Warfare 2 universe. It might just be like a branch from the Modern Warfare 2 universe, but it will not be Modern Warfare 3.
so no Black Ops, in other words.
Oh, we knew that. We knew that.
Black Ops won't
we knew
be
that was
released
next
for a
year.
bit.
That's
Yeah.
next year. We already
Oh,
know.
I
We already
gotcha.
know that
Yeah.
Treyarch is doing that next year. We were
So basically,
we were
no Call
prepared.
of Duty for Alex for a while.
We got Halo because
My God, I hate it when games do this. They're like, oh man, we're getting kind of bored about it. This game's
they just
not as
announced
good.
season 3.
And then they announced this season, and it looks fucking amazing. I'm like, I hate you.
okay.
Why? Isn't that a good thing?
I mean, it is, but it's like, man, like it's just. You want to say a bunch of bad things about Halo because they just started Infinite on such a bad note, and there's so much bad about it
Yeah.
as far as any other Halo game. And then just when you're about to give up on it, saying this is shit, they do this.
They did the same thing with the season 2
and
update.
you're mad about that?
It's like a
Redemption that she doesn't expect.
yeah. But
So-
Destiny, on the other hand, we've just been waiting for this update, and I knew it was going to be good because it's just always good. But this one looks like really good.
Yeah.
Like really good.
So we'll be playing Destiny and Halo a lot
it,
more.
it came out today.
Yeah, but we won't be playing it till this weekend.
I know, but it came out
At
today.
least for sure. So Halo Infinite Season 3 will add not 2, not 3, but 7 maps.
That was like one of the biggest issues
Maps.
was maps.
Yes.
We were playing on them the same 4, I believe, maps, just
Yeah.
on repeat.
Right. So Season 3 echoes...
And new guns.
one new gun.
New
Season
gun.
3 Echoes Within offers players a new 100-tier battle pass, new maps, a new mode called Escalation Slayer, a new weapon, the M392, which looks like a DMR without a scope.
Mhm. Looks cool.
Equipment shroud and a new equipment, the shroud screen. So
Oh, yeah. That looks really cool.
So the maps are Oasis, Cliffhanger, Chasm, Starboard, Perilous, Salvation, and the one that I'm most interested in called Arts Room. It looks like a bedroom.
It does.
You're
It looks
fighting
so
in a
cool.
bedroom,
It looks so
like you're-
cool.
like a small action figure. They're taking that
It
from...
looks like Toy Story.
Yeah, they're taking that from that one game I want to play coming out soon on the Xbox where you're an actual action figure in a store and you're doing team deathmatch.
Oh, that's cool.
That's coming to the Xbox this summer.
Oh, that would be
I am
cool.
on the wait list for the beta.
Cool.
So we'll be looking out for that. So those are 2 really big nerd news things. One big movie item, Super Mario Brothers, the movie moved up 2 days. So April 5th is when it comes out now instead of April 7th. So I don't know if that is going to mean anything to
So
most
next
people.
month, March, we've got Scream.
Scream and okay, this was my
And
final
John
note.
Wick.
But that's okay. I can say it now. There's another final note I can have if you don't have one, but I have it written down when they are. Scream is next week, and John Wick is in 3 weeks.
I'm so excited for both.
Wow, I didn't know Scream was so soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's next week.
I watched like a little behind the scenes about John Wick 4.
Huh?
He did an extra 12 weeks of training compared to any of the other movies on
Well,
nunchucks.
That's Keanu for you.
He's
doesn't
doing it.
go half-ass.
He's doing it. He full asses it.
He full asses it.
Alex, this is gonna piss you off a little bit, but you can now buy Knock at the Cabin digitally for $20.
We saw it for cheaper than that. I'm fine.
No, we didn't. We saw it for the same price.
I thought we got like that. We saw it on like the $5 movie or whatever. You said we went on a cheap night.
Oh
Tuesday
yeah, I
night.
guess it was like $12.
Exactly. So
Okay.
I'm fine. And we got
12
basically
total?
a popcorn
What?
for $1.
12 total?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
$1 for a popcorn.
And it was
because we had
$1
to
for
pay for the
popcorn.
tax.
So yeah, why wouldn't I piss? We paid less for it. I'm
Why
good.
wouldn't I piss?
Is that what I said?
Yeah,
Did I really say that?
you did. You didn't get the piss, the B in
Why-
there.
Why wouldn't I be pissed? Why did you say why wouldn't I piss? Did I really?
Yeah, you did. Oh, that's great.
I was thinking too fast.
Your mouth went too fast, and your
My
brain
mouth
slowed
went
down.
too fast. Why wouldn't I piss?
I don't know. Maybe because you were sitting in the theater.
You didn't have to go.
Oh man, it's been
All
a while
right,
since
let's-
I've had one of those moments.
Let's talk about the apocalypse here. So,
Okay.
last night we were watching The Last of Us, and in the episode, Ellie is looking for, I don't know why, like she's just like scrambling for stuff, and I'm just like, why is she like, I don't know what she's looking for, but she's going through all these drawers in the bathroom and everything. She's looking for a needle and thread just to basically sew up a wound. A basic household item. And I said, that is so valuable in the apocalypse. It's crazy to me.
It's things you don't think about that you're
Exactly.
gonna need.
So I'm thinking here, I'm like, that's a great question to see what other people think. What common, ordinary household item do you think would be priceless in the post-apocalyptic world? Like, what would you think would be like, oh my God, like this little thing that they can no longer mass manufacture or whatever that you wouldn't even think of? So there's a lot. That's a lot you can probably say. But what do you think?
Well, when I read this question, the first thing that came to mind was the movie The Book of Eli.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Because the whole movie is about a guy carrying something that cannot be reproduced
Right.
and trying to get it to a safe location so that it can be copied and be supposedly save civilization.
Humanity.
Okay, so you say a Bible would be one of them, or,
Well, I mean,
specific literature.
Not necessarily, but I just that
And a
like,
very important book.
books came to mind
Mhm.
because they're not consumable in a, in the sense that you would consume like other consumables.
Right.
But you don't have. It would be really the only means of entertainment.
Huh. That's true. Oh, well, speaking of means of entertainment, Ellie and her friend in Last of Us, they read this book of puns, and one of the jokes was talking about screenshots. And they're like,
And they're
what's
like,
a
what's
screenshot?
a screenshot?
Because
they
they've
don't
never
know.
seen a phone.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, oh my God, that is a time-based like joke right there where,
Mhm.
it's wherever you're at.
It was
it's not
like, what
always gonna
kind
be
of
the same
drink does
thing.
a computer order or something like that?
A
And
screenshot.
it's a screenshot. And they're like, haha, oh, wait, what's a screenshot?
I was like, aha, oh wow,
oh,
that's
yeah, they don't
wow.
know.
It kind of puts you in a perspective mood.
Yeah.
Any other ones other than like rare literature rarities like that? I mean, there are some things that
It's
expire.
funny because in the Book of Eli, he had an iPod.
He had a rechargeable. He had a
MP3 player.
a solar recharger
Yeah.
though, so that's a big thing that you want to make sure you have is something that's able to recharge your energy. That's gonna not ever run out. I mean, I want to get a better solar charger than what we have, Alex. It's a real basic flashlight that we have that solar charges, but it also has a USB out. I want to get a better one that's a little more like for emergency situations, a little better than what we have. But something like that
I
would
would
be
think
great. Flashlights.
basic food preparation things like pots.
Yeah,
Because you're going to have to eat something.
you really do.
So,
Off of something.
you look at like Wild West stuff. What do they travel with? Well, pots, pans, so they can cook over the fire.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, your basic necessities. You got something, Alex?
Mhm.
What do you got?
Well, this makes me think of watching Naked and Afraid
Okay.
because that's what happened. I mean, other than they're naked.
Yeah, right.
They're thrown out and you're allowed to bring one item.
Yeah.
My biggest thing would probably be that's super valuable because you kind of need it. You need your teeth.
Yeah.
So a toothbrush and
Toothbrush and toothpaste is really
'Cause
that's
Well,
necessary.
eventually you're gonna run out of toothpaste.
yeah, but you at least, you know how you keep that plaque and tartar off is friction. Not
Sure.
necessarily the toothpaste. That'll help keep it clean, but friction. A nice, like, I mean, obviously your toothbrush is not going to last forever, but you go stock up at CVS or something and get those, like, or the dollar store, get at least something for a toothbrush. Because eventually, you ever have a bad toothache? You can't eat, you can't do anything, you can't sleep because, your teeth hurt, right?
Yeah.
So, it's going to suck. It's either that or you go all Castaway style and
Knock it.
knock it out with
He
a.
hasn't seen that
Oh,
movie.
never mind. He gets a bad toothache and he has to do something to get away from the pain. So, and you're not going to like it.
If you ever see the movie.
The other big thing, so I was just thinking about toiletries, really. So,
basic
for me,
toiletries,
like,
yeah.
feminine products would be a good idea.
That they did a Diva Cup scene.
They did. I was like, that's a really good idea. Really, because
Having some Diva
tampons are out
Cups.
now.
Yeah, Diva Cup.
And that'll last a really long time. But the other big thing was you and I are obsessed with as soon as we're done showering, what do?
Q-tips.
Q-tips.
Yeah.
You don't want to get an ear infection either. And a Q-tip could be used for a lot of different things.
You don't stick Q-tips in your ears, do you?
Not far.
Not like into my ear.
I dry my
to clean my ears, yes.
You know you're not supposed to do that.
You're not supposed to shove it in.
You don't.
Well, yes, but to avoid the danger altogether, you're really not supposed to go near your ear.
This
with
ear's
Q-tip.
not going any.
I know where my eardrum
I can
is.
shove
I'm
a
not going to
Q-tip
poke
down
my
radio
eardrum.
all I want.
But yeah, so I was thinking more like that, and then like carrying
I know that
some
eardrum damage can happen.
carrying some type of small medical kit with
Yeah.
band-aids and dressing and suture and a needle.
The needle is a big one for me.
Yeah.
Like that little sewing needle.
I also think about in the tool sense, like remember the movie, and then we've talked about it before, the book Hatchet.
Yeah.
It saved his life.
They need
Having
to make
sharp
they need to make
tool.
a good movie of that. They
yeah,
could do
they
it.
did. It's called Far From Home Adventures of Yellow Dog, except he didn't have a dog.
Right, he didn't. At least I don't think
In
he
the
did.
book, he didn't have a dog.
Did he have a dog in the sequel books?
I
I think
no. Well,
I think the one where he continued living, he got a wolf.
oh really?
Did you read? He did the river,
The River. I did not. I read
Brian's Winter.
Brian's Winter, but it was so long ago. I really don't remember.
and then there's
much
another
about
one
it.
I think where it's like
There is
after
there
the
is one
winter.
more. Yep.
So one other thing that I had on my list,
They
because
gotta
I
do
got it
that.
from The Last of Us. When you think about it, do you remember the episode with Frank?
Yeah,
So the strawberry seeds.
seeds. Yeah.
Seeds.
Oh my gosh,
So,
the first time
I'm trying to
having
think of
a
like things that
strawberry-
you'd be able to trade, like that people are just, you're years into the apocalypse and there's something that you have specifically that is like gold.
Mm.
So like
seeds.
things like
well, you save those as you.
You reproduce them
yes,
with the seeds.
So
yeah.
so seeds.
I can take a potato out of our bag right now and go plant it. Apparently,
Well, I was also thinking about The Martian, which is a great movie.
I love.
Oh,
that
I love
movie.
that movie.
It's all
I
about
just watched it
fertilizer.
a couple weeks ago.
That's a great film.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
It's
It
very
really is.
smart. Yeah, for
So
Matt
food
Damon
sources.
being,
So
being in
do
space,
it,
it was
you
entertaining.
need seeds.
Yeah, it was. It's yeah, I agree. For me, needle and thread, of course. Any adhesive has a shelf life, so I would say use it sparingly. But that's a big one, like tape, glue, that kind of stuff. You want to make sure you only have to use it when necessary, but it's usable. It's you need to use it. Like adhesives are really good to use in the really hard to come by. Wire. Basic wire can come in handy. It can be used as rope, can be used as stick. You can use that
Really?
stitching if you want, but I wouldn't.
Lots of things, actually.
Lots of things, holding things together, making weapons, making tools. So those are my big things, I'd say. I know we have some responses on.
We do
social
actually. It was
media.
actually a pretty
It was a very
popular
busy
question.
one. I got Discord first here. So make sure if you guys are joining the Discord, please do so. We have a link in all of our descriptions of our videos. Mario is my dude, which is my nephew Caden. He said on Discord, any metal, which true. A lot of metals are very, very useful. You can melt down some aluminum.
You could craft tools
Make
such
bullets.
as like
yeah.
I was thinking the zombie apocalypse, bullets ain't gonna cut it with guns, and guns eventually are going to degrade to
They
where
will.
they may not be usable.
Mhm.
So you need a long, sharp device. Now, what was it? Michonne used a katana.
Yeah, katanas.
Oh,
So
heck yeah,
You
man.
need a ranged, tool, which
Katanas require a lot of physical.
they do.
Yeah, so if apocalypse happens, we're getting into shape, bro.
hmm Well, you're gonna lose 30 pounds anyway, just because you can't eat like you used to.
True.
McDonald's ain't gonna be opened up anymore.
I already kind of eat that way, where I'm just like, I'll eat a small meal here and there and whatever. Bragg said wood splitting axe, which an axe, hatchet, any of those sharp tools that can withstand an impact like that, definitely go for one of those. I think an axe itself in general, that's pretty.
It's a very,
valuable.
very, very
Very
handy
valuable.
tool.
Quentin said, "He who controls the pants controls the galaxy." So I'm gonna guess pants. He put a GIF up of Rick and Morty for some. I don't.
He who controls the
A
pants.
little too cryptic there.
Yeah, not so certain.
Okay.
Pants would be good. I would like to wear pants.
Yeah, changing.
I don't think
jeans.
clothes would be like. I feel like these days, you can loot anywhere and find clothes.
Depends on how much population is left.
They went to the mall and there was a Victoria's Secret not looted at all.
Well, yeah. Who's
There, Alex, you could have
You can have all the nice panties.
actual
and
underwears, which would be valuable. Real underwear.
actually? Yeah. Wow. I didn't think about that. Underwear. That
Good
is
underwear though.
good underwear. Underwear
Right.
and socks.
Even if it wasn't good, if it's actual real underwear, it would be better than not.
Right.
I think you would eventually just kind of adapt to free ball.
Well, your skin would basically turn leathery, especially if you're outside for a large amount of time.
yeah, like that's what I mean by adapt. Like you'd get thicker skin.
Yes.
You would adapt. Yeah.
I mean, the Native Americans did not wear underwear.
They did not.
No, but I mean,
And
I've seen like corn cups
they
and stuff
made their
used as toilet
clothes.
paper. So
Sure.
We got a couple of answers on Facebook. One from cousin Andrew that says, "Not sure if guns and ammo count as common. Besides that, alcohol for sure. Maybe toothpaste, paper form of survival guide, and solar powered things. A map, a paper map.
Sure.
ooh,
That's a good
Ooh,
one.
I didn't even think about that.
A
Right now, we just type in Google.
an atlas, like
An
a
atlas.
full-on map of of each state.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Got another one from Jeff on Facebook saying, "I remember being at a gathering at a friend's home about a month into the shutdown back in March of 2020, and a couple of people brought toilet paper as a cover charge to get in. It was hilarious." Something I guess.
I mean, what was the first thing during COVID that became a thing?
Which made no sense.
Well, it didn't, but toilet paper.
Really didn't.
You would think canned goods would be, if people were really worried.
Right?
Like it became a thing to a point where when I made little pandemic ornaments for people to put on their Christmas tree for work, and it said my first pandemic, and on the back I either put like a scrap of toilet paper or an emoji of a shit.
Yeah.
Like, because I was like, the one thing everybody ran to was we're out of toilet paper.
I was.
Why?
Alex and I wound up buying toilet paper over the internet.
Yeah, we ended up just getting a subscription.
I never
Toilet
was.
paper
I
subscription.
was never unable to find any, but
You were in the retail at the
I
time, right?
consume. I was, and
Yeah.
I consume way less than being a single household.
Alex and I don't consume
I
that
wonder-
much.
So I wonder, this is something. I wonder if the people that freaked out and bought tons of toilet paper, and it's 2023 now, I wonder if they're still living off of how much they bought.
Oh
I would
yeah.
doubt it.
They
I,
probably
I
went.
guess it depends.
Yeah, I
How
wonder.
much they
You
bought.
don't know how crazy people are.
Yeah.
You got some Instagram, Alex? I know that there's some comments on our Instagram too.
Yes.
So,
We've got Jersey Comic Crew podcast.
Shout out to these guys.
They have a very good answer.
Mm-hmm.
Soap.
Soap.
Oh, yeah.
So one of the things that we're
Soap.
noticing in The Last of Us is when they get to have a shower, especially a hot shower, because this is like 20 years after everything happened, and they're like, "Oh my god, you have soap!"
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, I'm a very clean person, and I wash my hands quite a bit. So yes, I totally agree with
bit
that.
more of a cleaner person than I thought
you
I
can
was.
make homemade soap.
You can.
Oh yeah.
I don't know
Mhm.
the recipe, but you can do it.
Yeah.
We've also got the Fickle Fanboy podcast,
Shout out to these guys.
duct tape,
Okay.
or whiskey. But if duct tape doesn't work,
You could also, like in back in the day, you can, well, not so much even back in the day because there's a whole TV show about it, but you could make your own liquor. with
Yeah.
the
Oh, yeah.
stills.
But you got to have the knowledge. of how to
Moonshine.
do that.
Right, you got to know how to do it.
so we also have J Movie Talk podcast.
Shout out to those guys.
They also have soap
Okay.
as their answer, which I can't believe I never thought about that.
Do we have a voicemail?
No. Just checking.
Terrible Terror podcast.
Shout out to Terrible Terrors.
Right now, Lysol wipes.
Oh, yeah.
With how people were going crazy for the start of COVID, that would be like gold. It's that or bottled water, which bottled water would actually be another thing too. Bottled water or some type of really easy filter.
Yeah.
We've also got some comments on the actual post. Post itself. Okay. We've got Patrick.
Shout out to Patrick.
Man, I could think of a few. He says, wow, this is kind of a longer post. Here we go. Toilet paper would have huge value, which it would. A non-stick pan. Wow, that's very specific, but that's yeah, that's a good answer.
Yeah.
Can be used as a weapon, but more importantly, you can cook easier without needing more.
Dong.
Which, yeah, that just reminds me of Left 4 Dead, just using a pot. Dong. Duct tape would definitely come in handy for a lot of things.
Yeah.
And but maybe a water purifier to be able to have clean water. So that's also so clean water.
Yeah. So, do we have anything else as far as the topic?
Checking Twitter real quick.
I don't think there's any other interaction other than sharing it. But yeah, I couldn't believe that a basic needle and thread was someone would scramble for, but I was like, yeah, that makes sense. So sew your wounds up and stuff like that. She's lucky she found it.
Yeah.
But now it makes me want to go to a Hobby Lobby and get a spool and thread of
well,
a
that's not
needle.
what you want to do. You actually want to. I mean, the girls
You
and
want
I,
leather
the girls
string,
and I at
right?
work. So with me working at the hospital, me and Angie have a plan already. We've had a plan for years.
Oh, I can't.
We know exactly what we're grabbing.
Do you have an
what we're
exit strategy,
saving.
Brett?
No, because honestly, I don't know how long the majority of people would make it anyway. I don't know if it would be worth it to try to survive.
Really?
Speaking of things from the hospital,
Wow.
so knowing the types of things that I do about like how to place catheters.
Yeah.
So really, really big one that's gonna help is grabbing fluid bags and a fluid line and IV catheters.
Fluids. That's a big one.
Hydration, and what I was taught in school is the solution to pollution is dilution. Meaning, like, if you're poisoned, if you're sick, if something's wrong with you, or the number one thing they do at the hospital, what do? Hook you up to an IV and they start giving you fluids.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about, let's take the movie, The Book of Eli for example.
Yeah.
Would you rather be alive to be so desperate that you start eating other human beings?
Nope.
Or would you rather just die?
Well, I
Die.
mean, it's not going to get to that
Nope.
point immediately.
Right, exactly.
No,
exactly.
but
A
that's
little bit
the
of
question.
time.
No, no.
By exit strategy, I meant like, where would you go? I mean, would you go to your family? They're
I don't
not
know
that
if we
far
could make it
away.
that far.
Yeah.
Ours probably not.
I guess it would depend on what kind of what happens to turn
would
it
go
into
west, though.
apocalyptic.
Where we are here, and yeah, the type of apocalypse, let's just say it's something like a Left 4 Dead situation, or even a
You got to get
The Last
through-
of Us situation. We're fucked living in a big city. We are.
We're not in that big of a city, though. We can get out of this city real easily.
Do you know how many people have that same idea?
There's a lot of exits out of this city.
Do you know how many people have that same idea?
It's a little
It
different
wouldn't
when you
be
have a little
completely
different knowledge.
gridlocked like it would be in like downtown New York City.
Downtown,
Very true.
Downtown our city would be a little scarier, but I'm
yes,
saying like
but-
we have like 8 exits out of the city where we're at right now. I can think of 5 right now.
I know, but when you have 5 exits and you have 300,000 people,
I would take the least traveled, which would be that road right down the street. You take it all the way out.
300,000.
They wouldn't be
people?
coming this
Well,
way.
not everybody is going to leave because you're always going to have the group that's going to stand their ground.
Well, that's
Yeah.
why I lowered it because I think we're above 300K.
Yeah, okay.
We're not going to stand our ground.
I don't think anyone in their right mind will stay.
Well, we
here.
won't. We won't.
or try to stay
Sure,
here.
anybody in their right mind, but that's not everybody.
No,
True.
but
True.
that's what I mean. I think that we're fucked. We will probably last we'll be at not the bottom of the barrel as far as living, but people will go freaking crazy. And
Survival is like, I mean, I'm not the best as a survivalist, but I could figure it out.
Now-
I'm sure, maybe.
your family, on the other hand,
They're fine.
probably live a lot longer than us.
Oh, yeah.
They live out in the middle of nowhere. So the only bad thing they have going for them is that sources will be depleted, or
My dad cans everything in his life anyway. He's got a whole stockpile of stuff.
A lot of mouths
I'll tell
to
the
feed
universe.
too. If you
Lot of
took in
mouths
his
to
whole
feed.
family.
He wouldn't.
Wow.
I don't
wouldn't
know.
what?
He would take the whole family in.
Are you kidding? They would somehow send a letter by bird to say, "Get your asses over here."
Right? No, they would. Yeah, they would figure it out.
I mean, that's where I would go. If we would try to go anywhere, I would go there.
be a long route.
It would be. It would
Couple
take a
days.
lot longer than 20 hours to get there.
Yeah,
Because gas stations,
Double if
good
not-
luck.
triple if not quadruple it.
Ooh, gas.
Yes, but over time,
I know it's not. It's
gas is no good. Like the longer it sits, the less
It
usable it is.
like has a half life at some point, right?
Yeah. But that's what I mean. Like
They
that
showed
would
in
be
Last
like
of Us
gold.
because they had a vehicle that they kept on filling up. And she's like, and Ellie's like, how come this? I thought this got great mileage. Like it does, but
But it's been 20 years.
gas is not what
Yeah.
it used to be.
Gas is not. Yeah, that's right. He says that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a weaker substance.
Yeah, they made it very realistic.
Yeah, they did a good job. If you ever check it out, Brett,
Yeah,
it
is very good.
7 episodes now. So,
Yeah.
and I gotta say, every single person that Alex works with that has picked it up has said they love every moment of it. So.
Only
How
one of
many
them
of
has
them-
actually played the game.
I would say, how many of them has it convinced to play games? None of them.
Well, what?
Well, actually, I mean, I found out there's quite a few more girls that game. Like they have Switches, so like more like they get their hands on a game that way versus like turning on an Xbox.
Gotcha.
But
Well, it'd be PlayStation, but okay. PC now. They finally brought it to PC.
Well,
but-
I guess I didn't mean that game specifically. I meant, there are games out there like this show. Maybe I should step into gaming a little more.
there is one girl that I work with that her husband is a gamer. And she told me that she's like, "Oh, I just found this show called The Last of Us." And I went up to my husband and I said, "Hey, so I heard this is a video game and I watched the first episode. And hey, do you want to watch this with me? It sounds really cool." And he's like, "You want to watch that?" Like he got really excited.
It's kind of like if you were to tell me you wanted to watch Halo, but I wouldn't want to watch Halo.
That's not surprising to you, to me, from me.
No. I would say you liking The Last of Us right now is
I've already seen the first.
not
I
very
saw you play the
surprising.
first part of the
Yeah.
game, and it
I
locked
showed
me
you the
in.
opener, and
Yeah,
I was
and
like,
it locked
this
me
locked
in. So I'm fine. Yeah.
We gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
You guys have anything else you want to touch on before we get into our plugs?
Nope.
No.
Okay. Alex, you want to go ahead and plug your Twitch?
Yes, if you would like to watch me game at twitch.tv/cute_kitty, KUTE_KITTI. I stream on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday evenings. I will have a special stream, whether it be Friday or Saturday, most likely Saturday.
Yeah.
But I've got my mother's birthday this weekend, and that is what she has requested.
So you're gonna be gaming with her?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
playing. Fall Guys.
She asked to play Fall Guys, but I think I also,
You gotta try
because
Overcooked.
she did, yeah, but she's actually pretty decent from when I had her play Call of Duty and Halo.
Don't do it.
I'm going
Halo, maybe.
I think not Call of Duty. I'm gonna like I
We
got
don't
my
have Call-
if
I
I
don't
can
think we
teach
have
my
Call of Duty
sister how to
installed.
play Halo and she actually got some kills on multiplayer, I'm sure I can get mom to do it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see what we can do with her, but we'll have her on my stream as like a special guest this weekend for her birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really it. We'll do a special stream, most likely Saturday,
But
but
other than that, you're doing Destiny and Halo.
it'll
Destiny.
probably Destiny, Halo, and Fall Guys, just depending on the stream.
Yeah. As far as my stream goes, twitch.tv/Mr. L. That's MISTERL. You can catch me there on Wednesday and Thursday evening and Saturday morning. I will be checking out Little Nightmares 1 and 2 on stream. I'm not sure. 2 maybe. 1 probably not, but 2 maybe this week. I don't know. I've been very
It says
interested in
it's
playing
4
this
hours.
game.
4 hours
I
of
could
gameplay.
probably get through it if it's like that. Probably 5. If they're saying 4 for a standard person, I take longer to explore through environments and sometimes trying to get puzzles that don't exist. It just happens
Create
to me.
the puzzles.
Yeah, I create.
This has gotta be a
problems that-
hidden
yeah,
thing.
I always look for hidden
Easter eggs
things.
have screwed us up.
They really have. I just don't run through things like I used to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll also be doing Fall Guys probably this week, and I think that's about it as far as like different games for my stream. As far as our social media goes, our video for our podcast here, make sure you guys are hitting the like button on our video, and then also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to be notified for when we are live, which will be every Tuesday around 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then follow our social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. PTO Unlimited is what you'll search on Facebook and Twitter. PTO Unlimited _podcast on our Instagram. Also, make sure you guys are checking out the Discord, a public Discord where you can chat with all of us, and we send out memes and all that kind of good stuff, talk about sports and all those things. And also make sure you guys are checking out the merch. Brett and I are both wearing hats that are available on our merch store, PTO Unlimited Podcast logo merch. So make sure you guys are checking that out. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it is @_Mr. L.
Brett _wings.
Cute _cute.
Final note. In a sports sense, if I said the words load management, what do you guys think I would be talking about?
Load management? In a what sense?
In a sports sense. In
sense,
professional
load
sports.
management.
Somebody who takes care of the employees' equipment?
Okay, Alex?
My mind went dirty, but okay.
In a sports sense,
You said load management, and whenever we talk about loads,
Stop
we
it.
talk
Stop
about
it.
loads.
No, don't.
Maybe every time you talk about loads.
I have a lot of things going through my head. Load management, probably the amount of team members you're trying to train. I don't know.
No, well, I mean, that's a decent guess, but there's a phenomenon or a movement, I guess, that is going on in the NBA called load management. And it's basically players saying that they don't want to play every single game.
Okay.
And
Okay.
it's bullshit.
That is
because
bullshit.
NBA contracts are mostly guaranteed money.
Yes.
So they're basically saying that they don't want to play 4 to 5 games a week because they're too tired.
How?
And they are
What?
making, and the other thing about the NBA is they get these massive TV deals. So
Mhm.
these players that you don't know, like even a casual viewer, the player they don't know is going to make, their contract $100 million. So they're making anywhere from $40 to $70 million a year, and they're complaining about having to play 82 games a year
Athletes
before
get-
the playoffs.
They're already overpaid.
So Charles Barkley, who's a major sports analyst figure in the country, works for TNT.
Mm-hmm.
So he's kind of the official NBA to talk about him and Shaq. Shaq's big, but he basically called him out and said, "You guys are I can't believe you have the gall to say that you don't want to work 4 to 5 days a week and you're
Then we're cutting
making
your pay.
$70 million a year when these people who come watch you, go
Have
to
to
work
save for
every
a
single
ticket.
day." And that's in like another player or another. It was actually an NBA player who isn't into this. Is like, look, these people spend their money to buy tickets and they come to a game. It may be the only game they can come to a year, and you don't want to play.
Yeah.
How does that look?
Yeah.
And
looks
if you
really
think
bad.
about the players from the 90s, the Michael Jordan era, the Charles Barkley era, they
Yeah.
played every single game.
Right.
And I hate to put it at his feet, but he's been the face of the NBA for 20 years. LeBron started this all when he would take off the 2 weeks in the middle of the year to go down to Florida to get therapy or whatever the bullshit reason was he was doing it.
Yeah.
But now at the same time, LeBron's been playing a very, very long time because he made the playoffs every year. He's played a lot of games. He did just beat Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to become the player with the most points. Like he has scored the most points in NBA history. But the way the game is today is because of him, I believe.
I've never watched LeBron James play, and I don't.
I would rather
want
watch
to
a
see
baseball game than I would watch an NBA game.
it. Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, speaking of NBA, did you see that there's a Michael Jordan movie coming out? I mean,
No,
it's kind of
I
like
did
Michael
not.
Jordan movie. It's about the shoe, the Air Jordans.
Oh yeah, I knew. I
Yeah.
saw that because it's Affleck and Damon.
I like that. It's an interesting one.
Yeah.
I still
About
get to watch
Phil
the trailer
Knight.
for Tetris. That one
Yeah.
also has
So-
about the same.
So it's NFL players, they play way less games and their money is not guaranteed, and they are
No.
I think they are
Dude,
and they take the most risk for physical injury.
do you know how much XFL players they don't?
It's
Oh, I'm
sure
sure
it's
they
not
make
If
crap.
they win, they get an extra like grand for the game.
so I was
Yeah.
talking to Patrick about it, and I'm like, I want to know the business side of it because I'm certain that that Dwayne Johnson is not funding this all himself.
He's not.
has to have investors.
There's three.
Oh, I'm
owners.
sure.
Well, there's Danny Garcia, who's
Yeah.
co-owner.
Yeah.
And then he has a third guy.
Yeah.
That I don't know.
Is
Um,
Danny the female?
Danny's a female.
Okay,
his
that's the one I-
That's
that's the
Dwayne
one I've seen.
Johnson's ex-wife.
Yeah.
It's his business partner, I'm pretty sure, in other.
Yeah, they
things.
made sure they were interviewed in week one. That pissed me
Yes,
off.
they
but
were all over.
whatever.
They were all over. I mean, then he's proud of it, and I would be too if I were him. 'cause
Yeah,
it's
but
the
not
third
when it was
iteration,
not during the play that needed to be called.
probably. But I'm just wondering, like, I'm sure the players aren't played much, even though it's professional football. It's like the minor league compared to the NFL, and the XFL is never going to bring in the revenue that the NFL does, not even close.
But they can climb.
It's going to take a while, but they will never reach the NFL standard. The NFL is
I want to make sure we remember
a
this
billion
day.
dollar company.
I don't think no. What I think will happen is it might do a little bit of a leveling between the popularity, might drop NFL, or it might just climb XFL and stay on NFL because it's after the NFL. So it's not like you're not getting other
They're
football.
not competing against each other
Correct.
directly, but it will never reach the level of popularity and
It
revenue
might
that
reach
the
the
NFL.
same.
No.
We don't know this.
I'm guarantee
Unless
you it
the
will
younger
not.
crowd really gets into this, like the younger generation.
Well, first of all, they only have 8 teams, so the size alone of
Right.
the league is not.
Yeah,
going
but
to
didn't the
compete with
NFL
revenue.
NFL
started
started with about first of all it was AFL and NFC.
Yeah, didn't they start low and then they started
AFL and NFL?
once it picked up traction?
Sure.
You get more
so there
teams.
were there were already two different leagues back in the early 1900s.
there
Not
was
that
a-
it can't happen; it just might not for a while.
It's not going to happen.
The USFL and the XFL could merge,
Yeah, that's possible.
and then there's two leagues there.
Sure, that's possible.
There's a growth.
But
So
It's not going
We
to
don't
happen
know.
for a while if it happens.
we don't know.
we don't know. But
My answer to your final note is these players signed up for a job.
You do your
That's
job.
the job description, and if you don't like it, you don't play.
Well, that's
And
the
I might
thing.
just be old school, but that's how life
So,
works.
You know how in the NFL the players do not like Roger Goodell, right?
Yeah, I hate
The
him.
commissioner of the NBA his name is Adam Silver, and he kisses the players' asses. That's why every player gets to go to whatever team he wants to,
Okay.
and he is in favor of this load management because he does not want to go against the players because he realizes that the players are the star of the league,
Yeah.
maybe more so than any other league because you can see their faces for one.
Oh,
Um,
entirely. Yeah.
And there's far fewer players on a team than there is on like a baseball team or a basketball team or a football team.
Football team.
So he's just got no spine, and he will side with the players every single time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is all. I just thought it was
Okay.
interesting.
I mean, I'm not into basketball whatsoever.
Yeah, me neither.
I just
But-
feel like it's been this way for years upon years upon years, and
For other
yes, things can change,
sports.
but
Yeah.
I might just I might be a little bit more cynical the older I get. I
You
don't know.
say.
Not might. It happens to everybody, I think.
Yeah. Or jaded or whatever you want to say. Like, just, you know what? I think it's just to the point where I've thrown in a lot of work myself, and if that were to start popping up, like, I only actually, you know, I want to get paid for a full-time job, but I actually only want to work half of it.
Right.
Then I tell you, fuck
there's
off.
a way to do that. There's a way to do that, and that's start your own business and build it to where you don't have to work as much.
Right.
Yeah,
But
but
that
you got to
takes-
start somewhere to do it. It's going to take a lot
Exactly
more
right.
work.
So you can't go to work for somebody
Yeah.
and then claim that. But
Yeah.
if you want to,
Man, I should have taken more advantage of my time off. I didn't. Live and learn.
Yeah, me too. The 2 weeks of vacation that 3 weeks of vacation that I had between high school and college.
Yeah.
Never knew
I
that was
think
going to
he
be the
meant
last 3 weeks of
the time
free
before
time
this
of my
job,
life.
right?
That's
Yeah.
what I'm referring to. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll catch you guys next week for episode 334. You guys have a good one. March is coming in. See how
March
it
is around
goes.
Mhm.
Bye, guys.